A lion does not concern himself with the opinion of sheep. Nor does the Stoic man chase validation, for he knows that what is worthy will be drawn to stillness, not desperation. My brothers, listen closely. In a world flooded with noise, attention-seeking, and false bravado, the rarest man is the one who is centered, unmoved, silent when others scream. He is not swayed by chaos or lust, but guided by inner order, and this is precisely why he is irresistible. Only 1% of men possess the 4 timeless traits I am about to share, not because they are secret, but because they are hard. They require discipline, not indulgence, fortitude, not flattery. Women are not driven wild by weakness masked as charm. They are drawn, almost magnetically, to the man who has mastered himself. Let me give you the essence. Emotional self-mastery is one of the rarest and most powerful traits a man can possess. In a world where emotional outbursts are common and reactions are driven by impulse, the man who can remain calm and measured is a force unto himself. He does not suppress his feelings. Rather, he understands them deeply and chooses when and how to express them. He is not numb, but disciplined. His emotions are like a fire he has tamed. They warm, they guide, but they do not consume. This kind of control creates a profound sense of trust and safety in those around him. Women, in particular, are deeply responsive to this energy. It is not about being cold or detached. It's about having the strength to stay composed in moments of tension, to offer steady presence rather than chaos. When others panic, he breathes. When others rage, he reflects. When others react, he chooses his response with intention. This calm presence signals maturity, strength, and leadership. It says, I am not ruled by the world, I govern myself. And that is attractive, not because it is performative, but because it is rare. Most people are tossed about by their moods, swayed by circumstances, and broken by pressure. But the man who has mastered his inner world becomes unshakable. Stoic philosophy teaches that the only thing truly in our control is our own mind. Emotions will rise as they must. But how we respond, how we choose to hold ourselves in the wide storm, defines our character. Emotional mastery is not the absence of feeling. It is the ability to feel without being ruled. And in that quiet strength lies a magnetism that draws others in, not with force, but with gravity. It is the mark of a truly elevated man. The man who puts purpose before pleasure is a rare figure in today's world. He is not driven by the next moment of comfort, the next distraction, or the next fleeting desire. Instead, he is anchored in something deeper, a mission, a direction, a calling. This does not mean he denies himself joy, but rather that he chooses long-term fulfillment over short-term gratification. He wakes each day with intention, knowing what he must do and refusing to be pulled off course by temptation or laziness. This kind of discipline is magnetic. It commands attention without asking for it. Women are naturally drawn to men who have direction, not because of what they say, but because of how they move through the world. Purpose gives a man structure, clarity, and momentum. It gives his words weight and his actions meaning. He becomes a man who does not need constant external stimulation to feel alive. His work, his growth, and his progress provide that fire. A man with purpose does not chase women or approval. He does not need to. His path is so compelling that others want to walk alongside him. He inspires not by pleasing, but by building. His commitment to something greater than himself, whether it is a craft, a vision, or a legacy, makes him a rare and valuable presence. Pleasure is easy. Purpose is hard. And that is why it separates men. Anyone can indulge, but only a few can delay gratification in service of something larger. In a world that constantly whispers, "You deserve this now," the man who says, "I'll earn it," through discipline, becomes a pillar of strength. That self-control becomes confidence. That confidence becomes attraction. And that attraction is earned, not demanded. It is the natural reward of a man walking the harder, higher path. A man of unshakable integrity is one who cannot be bought, bent, or broken. His actions align with his principles even when no one is watching. He does not shift his morals to please others or gain favor. His values are not a costume he wears in public. They are the foundation of who he is. This kind of consistency creates deep trust, and in a world full of manipulation and masks, it is profoundly attractive. People, especially women, are drawn to someone who is grounded in truth. There is a quiet confidence in a man who knows where he stands and refuses to compromise it for convenience or approval. He doesn't need to explain himself endlessly. His behavior speaks louder than words. His loyalty is not blind, but earned and deliberate. His word is a promise, not a performance. Such a man does not gossip, lie, or deceive. He doesn't change his tone depending on who is in the room. He is the same person in private as he is in public, and that consistency becomes a rare form of power. Integrity doesn't always make life easier. It often demands difficult choices, restraint, and courage. But the man who chooses truth over ease builds a reputation that cannot be shaken. This trait is especially powerful in relationships. A woman can feel when a man is solid, when his yes means yes and his no means no. This clarity breeds respect, security, and admiration. In a world of fleeting attention and broken promises, integrity is a beacon. It doesn't shout, but it's impossible to ignore. The man who walks with honor, even when it costs him, commands a kind of deep reverence that no charm or tactic could ever replace. He is rare, and he is remembered. A man with detached confidence is a man who knows his worth without needing to prove it. He does not chase attention, approval, or affection because he is already full within himself. This does not mean he is indifferent or cold. Rather, he is at peace whether he is desired or ignored. He does not seek validation from others to feel whole, and that quiet self-assurance makes him profoundly attractive. Confidence, when it is truly detached, is not loud or arrogant. It does not need to dominate a room or win every argument. It is still steady and unbothered. This kind of man is not trying to impress. He simply is. His value does not rise or fall based on who is watching. He can walk away from what does not serve his peace, not because he is aloof, but because he refuses to beg for something that is not aligned with his path. This detachment is powerful in relationships. Women feel safe with a man who does not smother or chase, but instead allows space to breathe, connect, and grow. He is not jealous or possessive, because he is secure in who he is. He offers presence, not pressure. He attracts by being, not by performing. Most men grasp for validation because they haven't yet built themselves from within. But the rare man who does, who can stand alone without anxiety, radiates a strength that doesn't have to speak. It is felt. His confidence is not fragile because it's not based on outcomes or opinions. He is enough, even in silence. And in that silence, people lean in. Because in a world of desperation and noise, the man who needs nothing becomes the one who is wanted most. That is the paradox, and the power of true detached confidence. There is something deeply compelling about a man who carries a quiet presence. He doesn't try to dominate a room with volume or theatrics. Instead, his stillness speaks for him. He listens more than he talks, observes more than he reacts, and when he does speak, every word feels intentional. His energy does not beg for attention. It commands it effortlessly. People sense something different in him, even if they can't quite name it. This kind of presence is rooted in self-awareness and calm. He doesn't need to constantly assert himself because he is not insecure about who he is. He is grounded, not swayed by trends, opinions, or the need to be liked. His sense of self is solid, and that gives others a sense of stability around him. It's not a performance, it's the natural result of inner stillness. Women in particular are drawn to this type of man because his energy is safe, masculine, and unwavering. He creates space without overwhelming it. He makes others feel seen without needing to be the center of attention. In a world where many are loud to cover up their emptiness, his quiet confidence feels like a rare form of strength. This presence cannot be faked. It's earned through self-discipline, introspection, and the ability to be at peace in one's own skin. It's not about saying the right things, it's about being someone whose energy speaks before he does. When he enters a room, People feel the shift. Not because he demands it, but because his presence carries weight. True quiet presence doesn't seek recognition, but it gets it anyway. It is subtle but unforgettable. In relationships, in life, and in leadership, the man who masters this calm, centered presence will always stand apart, not because he tries to, but because he doesn't need to. These traits, emotional mastery, purpose, integrity, detached confidence, and quiet presence, are not easy to cultivate. That is why only 1% of men truly possess them. But for the man walking the path of Stoicism, these are not options. They are his code. Be that man. Not for women, not for the world, but because anything less would betray your nature. First tell yourself what kind of man you want to be, then do what you have to do. Epictetus.